So, in the absence of being on Facebook, I've been in a blissful little bubble where I only hear about the things that I really am interested in hearing about. And I don't have to hear about the Dallas Cowboys or any other sports or bullshit little political threads. And I can actually spend my time doing productive things, working out, listening to music, going on a run on the beach, and, just not banging my head against a wall, metaphorically and literally. Uh, but some things that have been coming up that I feel I have to say something about. Number one is the gravitational waves discovery. Oh my goodness, they've discovered gravitational waves, Watson. Oh my goodness. And people are flipping out about this. Like it's the most significant thing that anyone's ever heard of in their whole life. And I mean, realistically, yeah, it's cool, I guess. I mean, to me, the coolest thing is that they built the machine like a 4 kilometer long vacuum tunnel. It costs like $100 million a year to run this thing, and it's an engineering feat par excellence. So to build the machine and to make it run required an extraordinary amount of manpower, brain power. It's kind of like the CERN, right? CERN, their particle accelerator. Very impressive, incredible machine to build. And then they come out with their finding, which is like, we found a waveform, and it matches Einstein's theory from 70 years ago. And yeah, that's cool. I mean, but that's not really a discovery per se. You detected a signal that you think is a gravitational wave based on general relativity saying that black holes can exist in an expanding universe, which if you really hash that out, it doesn't actually exist. And I can provide links for that if needed, but that's a deep topic. The point is that they said our computer model said that we'd find this signal, and we found this signal. That's cool, but you didn't discover anything. It's like I could be playing a video game and think that I found like something amazing inside of the video game, but that doesn't mean that I actually found or invented or discovered anything of tangible value. I mean, Tesla and inventors like him, electricians and mathematicians in the late 19th century and the early 20th century disproved special relativity before it was even widely accepted by the scientific community. And still to this day, it's so glaring, gaping full of holes that even the mainstream physicists are like, yeah, this is a backwater, backwoods model, and it's pretty ghetto. It doesn't make sense. We're just kind of stitching all these random things together, quantum theory and general relativity, and we try and estimate how much mass is in the universe, and we're only off by 10 to the 192nd power, like pretty much as off as you could possibly be on anything. But the thing is, in the absence of a connection to spirit, in the absence of a connection to the planet, what we have is this atheist religion of scientism. Of whoa, gravitational waves, so we're one step closer to Star Trek. Whoa. And I don't mean to rain on people's parades, but it's just so much exuberance over something so stupid. Same thing with CERN. They didn't discover anything. All of this is just computer models, computer programs that are so divorced and detached from reality. And instead of at any point like thinking maybe we should rethink the entire structural theory, they say no, the theory's got to be right. It's Einstein, and let's just make a bigger machine, and the bigger machine will allow us to find the smaller particle. And it's they baffle them all with bullshit with these big words and this jargon, but at its very base level, that's what it is. They know how wrong they are, so they invented dark matter and dark energy to fill the gaping hole in their theory, and then they kind of, they offer up discoveries like this to justify the hundreds of billions of dollars that they spend on all these giant gadgets. So, again, cool, but not that cool. Realistically, gravity hasn't even been explained yet. Yeah, we have the function of gravitation. We know how fast things fall, but ask any major physicist, any Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, and no one can tell you what gravity is or why it happens. And that's pretty embarrassing for people who claim to know everything. And ultimately, the Big Bang was a theory that it was originated by Vatican astronomers and Jesuits. Pretty much everything of modern cosmology today is one house of cards theoretical edifice standing on top of the postulates put forth by cardinals from the Vatican, from the goddamn Catholic Church. And people, oh, I don't believe in religion, I believe in science. Okay, so what's your theory? Oh, well, I believe the entire universe exploded out of nothing, and then all these magnificent complex forms just sprang into existence, and the entire universe is, just entropy. It's all dissolving constantly, but meanwhile we see these life forms just because it's random, and, lightning bolts and a bunch of amino acids, and therefore life. And they pretend like that's an explanation. They pretend like that's even a modicum more sophisticated than, and then God created it all in 7 days. It's all just this ad hoc, nonsensical, pseudo explanation to make up for the fact that nobody knows a damn thing. And that's a beautiful thing to realize, because it puts you right back in the control point. You're always the authority of your own life. Don't let anybody tell you that you're stupid, or that you don't know what you're talking about, or that you're not an expert and so you can't talk on such things. It's all bullshit. It's intimidation, and you should not be intimidated by these jargophiles, lovers of jargon, alright? They just use big words and they pretend like they're smart. I'm an English major. I'm not a physicist, but I can look through the words. I know what the words mean, and when I look through the words, I realize they're babbling. They're speaking nonsense. And so, I call it where I see it.